Yeah,
I
true.
remembered enjoying it.
Yeah,
the
I
first
did
time
too.
around.
With Godzilla -1 releasing, we decided to go back and take a look at Godzilla.
You had one job. Just the one?
But did we take a look at the good one from 2014 or the Toho version? Oh, no. We went back and took a look at the 1998 Botchbuster starring Matthew Broderick.
This is Frame Rate Studio, where we talk all things movies. I'm Corey. This is Popcorn.
I'm going back to sleep. Nighty night.
And this big guy over here who could easily take on Godzilla, he's a beast of himself, is Chad.
You mean the 1998 Godzilla, which is basically just, Jurassic Park 2.5? Is that what we're talking about here? Yeah. Go back and look at Jurassic Park 3 and tell me the dinosaur rampaging through, sorry, not New York City, but San Francisco doesn't look a lot like what we see. But anyway, we're not here to talk about Jurassic Park 3.
We now return you to our regularly scheduled program.
It's one of these classic things with Hollywood, which is find somebody who actually does appreciate the source material and will treat it well. Because that was basically what Emmerich said. I don't want to take the source material. I want to make my own Godzilla movie. And it shows.
Well,
Definitely.
Matthew Broderick, he wasn't very astute actor of researching what he's getting into because he never read the script.
Yeah.
He just went into it. So, I mean, it was some pretty bad choices. And then on top of that, one of the things was they were given wetsuits to wear underneath their...
Okay, yeah, I was going to bring that up myself. Yeah, go ahead.
So they were given wetsuits to wear underneath their clothes. And he was so frustrated because his zipped up in the back. He kept having trouble with it. And it was just always annoying. And then he was talking to one of the other cast members.
It was Hank Azaria.
It was Hank
Azaria, yeah.
I couldn't remember if it was Hank or who it was.
He walked up to Hank Azaria and said, your zip's in the front. And Hank goes to him, they all zip in the front, dude. So...
I think this boy's cheese slid off his cracker.
Let's actually maybe dive into the...
Yeah, let's get in it, because it was trying to do, and I referenced that in the intro about, Godzilla 2014, and it does kind of give you some of that same stuff, but it's laying the ground for what's going on, so it doesn't go through 15 minutes of exposition to get you there. I think this was trying to, but because the story, I'm not enough of a Godzilla aficionado, but I picked up enough over time, just, periphery, to understand that you still couldn't have gathered exactly where this story was going to go or what they were doing with it, because this was a totally different Godzilla than what we had seen on the screen up to this point.
Oh, yeah, and they went through several different iterations of the creation because they were trying to keep it secret.
Secrets? I am no secret!
And it's like... Okay, you've tried too hard to keep it a secret. You screwed up with everybody. You're screwing up with the cast. You're screwing up with your art directors and everything. And you just feel it and the work on trying to get too many punchlines in there, little jokes.
There's you're right. The one-liners and some of the quips, and it's just, we mentioned it in our Hudson Hawk review. We get it. We get his name is hard to say. We don't need 5 jokes about it.
Dr. Nico Topopoulos. It's the Topolis.
Research team member Dr. Nick Papadopoulos.
How did Mrs. Tadopoulos handle that?
It's the Topolis. Dr. Nico Topopoulos. It's the Topolis. Whatever.
They wear out the bad jokes, and then really it leads me into what my biggest problem, and often is a problem with movies, with a lot of movies, is inconsistent tone. Is this supposed to be a love story? Is this supposed to be a drama? Is it supposed to be sci-fi? Is it supposed to be a creature feature? And at the end of the day, I have no doubt, I shouldn't say I have no doubt, I would guess what most of the Godzilla fans are upset about is, it wasn't really about Godzilla. And that's what a movie called Godzilla is supposed to be about Godzilla. At the end of the day, it's more about his relationship with Audrey, meaning Matthew Broderick. It's all these relationships and things like that. It's not really about...
I don't know. I would have to probably disagree with that.
The gloves are off.
Only because it was the driving force. Yes, there was the love story. I feel like that was kind of a B story because that's what brought them back together. It wasn't like they were out looking for each other and then this dinosaur shows up.
Okay,
No,
sure.
the dinosaur was the first thing. Godzilla was the first thing.
No, it's a dinosaur.
Brings
Call it a dinosaur. It's okay. Yeah.
brings them all together.
Yeah.
And then everything starts happening around it. They're all trying to find the nest.
Yeah.
Which, as we mentioned while watching it, it's amazing in Hollywood how every single egg in any movie you watch hatches at the exact same time.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Maybe where I'm going with it is like it always tends to be Godzilla's a message as far as a morality tale about issues of how we're treating nature and things like that and setting off nuclear bombs and all this. And this had really none of that. And I guess more my problem was is it took, and at one moment Godzilla seems to be this sensitive creature that understands the world, and the next minute, it's just a big dumb animal.
Going into this, I know it gets such a bad review and everything. I was going into it kind of trying to remember what I liked about it.
Yeah,
I
true.
remembered enjoying it
Yeah.
the
Oh, I
first
did
time
too.
around. 3 things I remember about this when it came out. One is obviously the Godzilla.
Yeah, well, yeah.
I mean
yeah.
that one always sticks in my and animal almost getting stepped on. The videographer.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Yep.
Those two scenes.
And last but not least,
What I also still take away from it is you mentioned Taco Bell having its promo
Oh yeah.
bag in
Oh
there.
yeah.
Back when the Chihuahua was their spokesperson.
Yeah.
Godzilla's hiding, and it's up to you to find him. I think I need a bigger box.
And I'm with you. Yeah, because we went together. We went to this back in '98, and yeah, I remember watching it and liking it. I think it's just over time we've seen better movies, and at the time it was good, and now you look at it and go, oh boy, it hasn't aged very well.
You just keep telling yourself that.
What I was disappointed on was at the beginning of it, the practical effects
Yeah.
were so well done.
Yeah.
Of the ships, the trolleys being pulled
Yeah.
under, all that type of stuff was really well done. And then when you get into the movie where Godzilla is actually running through the buildings and tearing up everything, it felt like they went back to the old school
Yeah.
Godzilla practical effects, fake buildings, or whatever. It just didn't have that same feel.
Yeah.
And like you did so well at the beginning,
Yeah.
and then you just went.
I'm done. Okay, enough.
I don't ding it too much for that because that's when the movie was made. I'm not going to judge, the original Star Wars that it used green screen back in the day. I mean, sometimes you can tell. It's still a good movie. This is not a good movie.
The characters were too much. Producer was a huge Simpsons fan.
Okay.
And so
okay.
he deliberately cast a bunch of Simpson characters for the movie. And so he brought in all those voice actors
Okay.
of it.
Yeah.
And that's what it was. And it was just like, come on, just because you like this doesn't mean they're going to fit. Even though, I mean, they did decent at their roles.
I walked away from this too, and I can't imagine they didn't back in the day, but I think it was a big action or sci-fi piece. It's like, it's long.
Oh.
And it does that thing where it has what you think is the climactic ending, and then nope, there's another one, and it's like, okay, I thought that was the big bad thing that was supposed to happen. Yeah, so I don't know.
And I said it to you watching it. Can a helicopter not go up?
Oh yeah.
Here he's being chased by Godzilla, and he's like,
I don't think I can shake him.
It's like, go up. Oh, come on.
There was that, and then the one other thing that I just found to me was laughable. I get what they were trying to say, but to me was laughable is Godzilla's going to be harder to find on the island of Manhattan than he's going to be able to find on some island out in the Pacific. And it's like, this is a gigantic, almost island-sized lizard, and now we're going to lose track of it. It's going to be able to hide.
Doubtful. Very doubtful.
I'll go ahead and start this off. This is like a lot of botch busters. They can be enjoyable if you go in, you're going to get an unenjoyable film. But you can watch it to make fun of it. And my score, I gave it pretty much like a 53, just because you can have that enjoyability that way. If there was no enjoyability, I have a feeling I'd probably knock it down into the 40s.
If I'm giving my true critical feeling about the movie, we're talking about this is a 32. Like, it's not good, but it's not completely awful because the story isn't completely incoherent and it's not like they do an awful job at acting. But if we're talking about watching it to more have fun with it and make fun of it, you can raise it up to about a 50 or a 60. That's not critically that it's good. It's just, it's one that you can sit down and you can have a fun time watching it and making fun of. That's why it has at least some rewatch factor to it. But yeah, truly sitting down and watching it critically, not good. Not good.
There's 1998 Godzilla.
It could be worse, right? Much, much worse.